What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, and we bring you Splinterlands content daily. We also stream over on Twitch daily at This Is After Sound, and we do giveaways every stream. We do giveaways every week here on the channel. So come by, say hello. In order to enter the giveaways on this channel, just make sure to leave your in-game username in the comment section, and I pick out my favorite ones every week on the weekly Q&A videos. Now, that being said, I actually haven't streamed in a couple of days. It is the Thanksgiving holiday weekend here in the US. And so I literally just got back home super late last night and am recording this here to not recap the town hall, but give you my 5 biggest takeaways. If you are looking for a recap, well, one, I would highly recommend watching it because the town halls have just gotten awesome in terms of their production quality, and it's great. There's so much information. I feel like they tackle a lot of really big questions, and it's phenomenal. So if you have the time, definitely recommend checking it out. If you don't, though, the 2 options I would have one is on this screen. It is the official Splinterlands Town Hall summary that is on the PeakD official blog or official PeakD blog for the official Splinterlands account, and you could probably find this in the Discord server under the official updates. And if you want something in video form, check out Dwayne Cunningham's recaps. They are awesome. He does them in a fraction of the time, and lots of info. I always appreciate his insight, and definitely want to plug that here. So if you're looking for full recaps, definitely check those out. For me, though, I like to just look at the 5 things that kind of caught my attention, and here's my little visual for you. So we'll go through these one by one, and sometimes they're a repeat, sometimes they're new things, but mostly it's really just whatever catches my attention. If they're repetitive, or at least from previous weeks, they are going to be things that the team has expounded on a little bit more. So this first one was actually something that they've been talking about more and more every week, and I know that I've brought it up in a previous AMA takeaway. Actually, I'm sorry, Town Hall takeaway, and that is SPS governance. And so I'm actually just going to scroll down here, and I don't know if they had something in. So, well, okay, so this is all they had here. For any future recommendations, suggestions, please hold them for once SPS governance is live. Now, we know that version 1 of this is coming, but the team was talking about it so much during this past town hall, and especially, it was kind of like, some of it was tongue-in-cheek in a little bit of a joking manner, right? Like Nate was saying, like, you can decide what kind of hat I wear. Obviously, that's not going to be what SPS is used for, although who knows, right? But this just goes to show, again, the importance of staking SPS and what some of the things in the future will look like. Now, one of the things that I've talked about either in the comments or in previous videos is the fact that this game is not centralized. This game is not decentralized. It's very centralized, but the team has ambitions to make it more and more decentralized over time. And one of those things is SPS governance. That's the whole reason that SPS was released, to be a governance token, even though it's starting to take on quite a few more qualities within the game, including being somewhat of a currency as well. But governance token is what it was designed for, and that utility seems like it'll be coming soon. And so for those who may not be familiar or might be new to crypto, like, what is a governance token? Well, if you have, for each SPS token that you have and that you are staking, right? So you can't just be holding this in a private wallet, or you can't be holding it in the game and not staking it. In an ideal world, what would happen is there would be proposals for potential changes in the game or changes in the infrastructure around the game, and SPS stakers, meaning people who have invested in the game, right? If you're buying SPS, I mean, if you buy any asset, you're really investing in the game. But if you're buying SPS specifically, then you are investing in the governance of the game as well. And in that sense, one token, in this example, one token would equal 1 vote, for example, right? So you would be able to vote on certain things, and I can't remember any specific examples that they gave, but things in the future, like how long it'll take to unstake, right? Right now it's a 4-week period where you get 25% each of those 4 weeks, but there are going to be other things in the future, and actually we're going to talk about unstaking in later on in this video. But major things like that to potentially even minor things. If there's a card, imbalance, I think this is the example that's been given previously where, the team does not want to change any cards. They want to release the cards as they are. And unless there's something super, super wrong or, super exploitative with a way that a card comes out, they want to not make as many changes to that as possible. But if the community feels like we want to do something, we can set forth a proposal, and SPS stakers can vote on it using their tokens essentially as one vote per token. So this stuff is coming, guys. They keep talking about it, and just like in September, when Chaos Legion came out, or the Chaos Legion announcement came out, and that you'd need to be staking SPS, this might not be as big of a hype if, in terms of the utility that you get for it, but there is more utility coming to SPS. And the fact that SPS is down more than 50% from its recent high in October. And, I'm sure some people might look at it, hitting $1 and saying, that was a little overpriced. And you might be right. I'm not going to say, this is not a price prediction channel or, we're not really determining the value of SPS, but all I'm saying is that it's down more than 50%. And if you were ever looking to get in, this might be a time to consider, especially with more utility coming in the future. Not financial advice. All right. Number 2, lots of focus on esports. And I do want to go here to the portion that they had on that because it just has more or better notes. So they're trying to create a new esports league. They said it's subject to change. But they're looking to sign a contract with Zen Sports. They're looking to do monthly tournaments that will act as a leaderboard. And we'll have a huge tournament at the end of the year. So why does this get me excited? Sorry, I know I was just kind of reading through this. Why does this get me excited? It's because esports is huge and blowing up right now. And when you think about, let's just think about traditional sports in general, what people traditionally think of within sports, right? Like there's so much money that goes into the NFL, the NBA, the Premier League that has nothing to do with those sports themselves. It is money coming in from sponsorships. It is money coming in from advertisements. It's just, there's a lot of money coming into those spaces because of the popularity around them. Well, this game is obviously one that I believe in long-term. And in terms of the games that are out right now, this is one that is very highly competitive and has players that can be, we're almost at a point, or I wouldn't be surprised if we get to a point soon where a lot of the top players start to be very recognizable to the entire community, right? And so you're going to have these top leagues where, again, this is me just speculating here, but I would not be surprised to see some sponsors coming in and sponsoring teams or sponsoring tournaments or giving endorsement deals. Like stuff like that is what happens when you have this kind of competitive league, right? When you have a sports or esports, I should say, an esports league that people love to just be a part of, even if they're not playing in, right? And I think the best example of that now is the fact that, at least for myself, and I'm sure many others, will tune in to see some of these top players playing. And I think once Chaos Legion is out and there's a wider range of, formats, meaning, you're going to have wild format and modern format, then you're going to have kind of top players all over the place and a lot of newer top players, people who invested heavily in Chaos Legion. And I know we covered it in a previous video, but Chaos Legion is going to be like 80+% of all cards in existence. So if that's the case, then a lot of top decks are going to be dominated by Chaos Legion cards. So this just gets me excited. The fact that the team is thinking big and really trying to bring a lot of these competitive competitive events. I don't know what else to call it, like league tournaments, things like that, because this is where, to me, this is where a lot of money can really come into the space, and not just about the game, but to really support the players and the community, which I think is going to be awesome. All right, number 3, unstaking time. So we talked about this previously, but the team has so if you're unfamiliar with the staking process, or the unstaking process, I should say, the team has no intention of decreasing the length of unstaking. And that process, as it currently stands, is 4 weeks at 25% per week. So if you had 1,000 SPS and you wanted to unstake all 1,000, it's going to take you 28 days exactly, right? And after each of those 7 days, you're going to get 250 until you get to the final, 28th day, and you'll have everything out. So the thing is, the team has no intention to do this. Aggro mentioned, that he wants the staking time, unstaking time to be even longer. I think 28 days is actually pretty good as it is. And what's the main reason for this? It's because they don't want pump and dumps. They don't want prices to be manipulated in certain ways. They want people to be staking in the game. And again, this is all tying in together. What are they doing to give you benefits of staking rather than unstaking? Well, one, you get I think it's a little bit under 50% now, but a 49% APR reward, which will probably go down over time. But 49% APR, that's pretty good. There's a tool here, and I'll do a deeper video into this, but there's a tool here that shows at how many staked would the APR percent be. And even if we were close to everything being staked, I think we'd still be over like 20 or 30% APR. But let me do a little bit more research into that before I take that with a grain of salt. So let me do a little bit more research before I give you an exact amount. But the fact that you're going to be getting pretty sweet returns on just staking your SPS is pretty great to me. This is a token that the team doesn't want to be traded or day traded in a sense. And I feel like they are doing everything that they can, or at least they're trying to do everything that they can to make it worth your while. Vouchers were the first thing, right? And vouchers will be an ongoing thing. So that there's going to be staking on players. There's going to be potential other ranked battle rewards. Things like that are going to make it worth your while to continue staking. So I appreciated the fact that they kind of addressed that, because I didn't think that people had an issue with it. But if you do, I'm curious to hear why, outside of like, I want to just be able to dump the SPS. I mean, and here, that's a valid way to approach it. But if you're trying to do that, then I don't know that SPS is necessarily the token for you. I mean, granted, you know what? You can do whatever you want. But you can't have your cake and eat it too, is what I'm trying to say, right? Like, if you are going to be trying to trade this coin because you think it has high volatility upwards in the future, but you want it liquid, then you're not going to get all the benefits. Like, that's just not how the team wants it to happen, right? If you're going to be in this game for the long term and wanting to get the benefits in game and not be trading this coin, then they're going to give you as much as they can, right? Vouchers and potions, whatever, who knows what they'll come up with. Okay. Number 4, this was more just like an offhand thing, but Aggro mentioned that, he's like, I don't think people realize just how ambitious we are in what we want to create, right? And he's kind of just hinted at a bunch of different things with comics and mini games and potential like media content, right? Film or what's that called? Film or TV shows or animated things like that. Like, there's so much that they want to do, and he's talking about he wants these characters to be like household names, right? So you think about Pokemon, you think about Marvel and DC, and you think about just like all these like iconic characters, and I just love the fact that they're aiming high, because why not? Honestly, and I don't mean that in just a like whatever, like aim high. That's like, that should be everybody's goal. There's okay, we're gonna get a little philosophical here. Naval Ravikant mentioned something that always like stuck with me, right? And again, this is not going to be a perfect analogy, but I want to share it here just because I think about it all the time. Oh, I put a little space there. All right. But he was essentially, the concept was, the guy who works 80 hours a week, or, puts in a bunch of effort building his restaurant, and Elon Musk working 80 hours a week building rockets and Tesla and all this stuff. Like, they're both doing a ton of hard work, right? But the returns for the guy who opened his own restaurant versus the returns for someone like Elon Musk are completely different. They're like complete opposites, right? One of them is a billionaire and the other one is hopefully going to have a successful restaurant. But you know what I mean? Like, and the idea is that, like, if you're going to be putting in that much effort, you might as well aim as high as possible. So again, coming back around to this, Like, I love the fact that they're aiming high, they have high ambition, and the fact that this capital that they have, right, the several $1,000,000 that they made from the pre-sale, right, there's what, 900,000 packs sold. If we just round that up, that's anywhere between $3 to $4 million that were made on just this pre-sale. And if if and when the Chaos Legion sells out, that's going to be another 40 to 50 million potentially, right? And so what they're saying is that they have all these high ambitions, and they now have the capital to do so, and are hiring the team, or expanding the team and hiring people and putting them in places to help push every aspect of where they're trying to go. And I think that's phenomenal, because this is not just, they had a huge payday and now they're all going to go buy an island somewhere and just hang out. Like, this is, hey, we're going to take everything that we've made from this, all the success that we've had, roll it right back in, hire more talented people, and build even more awesome stuff. So again, as an investor, that makes me excited. I'm staking my SPS and continuing to just restake every single day. And I'm very excited for the IP behind Splinterlands, that, just everything that they're planning to do with it. I love the fact that lore is becoming such a major talking point and a major thing, especially in these AMAs. And yeah, I mean, it would be awesome if this was one of the next major media brands, right? Like, there's a Netflix series or a comic book or things like that. Like, or I don't know. To me, that kind of stuff gets me excited, because here's how I see things, right? And this is, again, all just kind of speculation, but we are in an incredible time where, Web3 or crypto is really going to change the game. And now what's happening is that you're going to have a lot of old, media or old companies coming through and trying to shift and bring everything, including their intellectual property, into this space, right? So you're going to see Marvel releasing NFTs and Pokemon and all these things like that. And they're probably going to be successful in what they do. But what ends up happening is that sometimes, actually very frequently, you have the natively born on these kind of monumental shifts, right? These monumental technological shifts. The natively born people who started from the beginning are the ones that can really build something incredible, because they were born in it, right? They didn't just adopt it; they were born in it. Now, again, your big things like Marvel and Pokemon, like the ones that I mentioned, those have enough clout that no matter what, they already have the fan bases, so people are going to follow along. But while it takes these huge, massive, behemoth ships to enter into the space, you're going to have games like Splinterlands and games like potentially other ones as well that have really cool IP around them start to build and grow community and really extend and expand their brand, and expand their intellectual property to all these people who are in this space. I mean, people would never have heard about Splinterlands, but now look at this. We have like almost 1 million players, or whatever the case is. I think 750,000 spell books, like that. So I don't know. To me, that's where things get really exciting. All right, last one, and they mentioned this in here as well, but it is the group sales, or the large purchases. 1.6 million US dollars have already come in for the Chaos Legion. So, they did a post here, and I didn't do a video. I read it myself, and I'm hoping that the way that they are handling this will put any reservations, any anxiety, any anger to rest, right? And I don't have the information right here up in front of me, and I would highly recommend checking it out if you're interested. But it's something like they're going to cap these sales at 6 million packs, or they're going to make sure that they have 6 million packs available for the general sale on that first day. And it's going to be that 24-hour period. If you buy within the 24-hour period, you'll be eligible for all the airdrops that come through during that time, right? Now, again, Matt or Yaba Matt wasn't on the town hall yesterday. In the most recent town hall that he was on, he was very skeptical about them selling out very quickly. Again, it's hard for me to say, because I don't want to hype things up unnecessarily. Obviously, I'm excited, but a lot of people out here are just like, oh my gosh, we're going to sell in minutes, we're going to sell in seconds, and we're going to crash the website. Like, if we do, that's awesome, right? But I'm not trying to be one of those people. Like, I don't know. $50 million coming into the space is a lot, right? And while I know that there's a lot of money out there, I know that that money is looking at a ton of other games, especially ones that might be less developed than Splinterlands because they feel like they can get a better return. So $50 million at the end of the day is a ton of money. But if we're already seeing $1.6 million here, and we are not even at the second phase general sale, right? I don't know. That's that says to me that we may hit that limit, right? I think 1.6 million is probably going to be close to 400,000 packs, right? I'm sure there's some bonuses and stuff in there that I'm not accounting for, but if we're already there, and I know that there's one pool already up, and I'm sure there'll be several others that pop up between now and when that general sale opens. And again, this is going to be sometime in January. So, yeah, that is really exciting, and actually makes me start to feel as though it may sell out very quickly. I don't know that it's going to be in minutes, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to make any speculation here. All right, guys. This video has already gone on a little bit longer than I was hoping it would. So let me know your thoughts of the town hall. If there's anything that I didn't cover or that I missed. Again, this is not a recap, but if there's stuff that you wanted me to dig deeper into and take a closer look at. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video, and I'll see you around the game. Have a good one.